Hi everyone. Welcome to ITV. So I just want to quickly go through advantages of ChatGPT because you might have heard a lot of times people are saying ChatGPT is going to change the world. ChatGPT has a lot of potential, and at the same time you are hearing people that artificial intelligence is going to make a lot of things negative, and then it is not controllable. All of that stuff, and you might wanted to see what is this ChatGPT and why we are using ChatGPT, and then do we need to use ChatGPT or not. So on that, I would just wanted to start a video on ITV to give an awareness of how ChatGPT is useful in day-to-day work scenarios and in normally any job role, any level of position you are in software industry, how you can use it. Okay, let's see my screen. I'm going to ChatGPT. Okay, and then you'll first sign in into the ChatGPT with your Gmail account. You can just use the normal mail. Google email. You don't need to go for a subscription based. If you see here, I'm already signed in. If you are not sure how to sign in, I'm just logging it out and then showing you how you can sign in again. You can just click on login and you can go to continue with Google and you can select your any um, email. So okay, so now it shows a such thing. Okay, suppose I'm just joined into a software company and I have to drop an email about the status of the work which I have done today. And while writing it, I'm fumbling with words and I'm not able to understand how I can write. So what you can use as a chat GPT, just ask, write an email on all the status things I have done today. So whom you wanted to write an email to your manager, to which manager? I would say um, technical program manager is one of the role in software industry. Technical program manager, what I have done today. Okay, and in how many words you wanted to write? I just want like not more than 200 words. You can just mention I just wanted only 200 words to be used. Okay, just click on it and ChatGPT will give you how you can write. Okay, just put a subject, daily status update, mention the date, and dear, the name of the manager. It just gives you, I'm writing to provide a quick update on my progress update, and then what I'm trying to do, and what are the status points, and then at the end of it, it will say um, what you are feeling about the status which you have done today. So it's like wow, you can just use the template instead of just copy pasting everything. You can go through it, wherever you wanted to change you can change it. And if you feel this chat gpt is writing in more pleasing manner and you want it to be a more aggressive manner, you can tell to the chat gpt, uh, write it in more aggressive way um, than pleasing. So aggressive way is a better higher in the tone, in terms of write it in more succinct, you can say, way than pleasing. Succinct in the sense few words. So it will understand. Okay, just write it in a more succinct way than pleasing. Then again, it will rewrite the entire email in a manner which oh okay, so I'll write it in more few words and more straightforward, and then it's not like you are writing a paragraph to the program manager. It will appear like that, and then you can see that here it has written more elaboratively, and but here see how simple it has just written. So it has automated your job. You don't need to write in front of your system, spending almost like 15-20 minutes to just gather all the statuses which you have done, and then you just need to know what all statuses you have done, how you want to present. Just ask ChatGPT and then mention it, and now you want to send an escalation email, but it should not appear like an escalation email, but it should tell that you are not satisfied with the work which is given and you wanted to change the role or the concept or whatever the work which you are doing. Just ask GPT, hey, can you write me an escalation email on the work which I was assigned, mentioning how I don't like, how I am not satisfied with what do you say, repetitive work or something like repetitive work. Okay, you just have asked repetitive work, but anyhow you are again telling that write it in more pleasing and convincing manner. Pleasing and convincing manner. What it will do? Okay, I'll write it. Escalation concerns regarding either you can keep the subject or not. Just dear man, I'm writing to escalate my concerns regarding that. It will write it for you. Okay, and then you just understand whether it is more pleasant, at the same time conveying the point or not. Whether it needs to be updated in terms of conveying point itself or not. And you can communicate the same thing with the chat GPT. Here it has written like, 3 paragraphs. Who will read 3 paragraphs and then try to reply? Then ask chat GPT, hey, I don't want to use so many words, write it in 100 words only. What's the problem? Okay, then it will write it in 100. Escalation, repetitive work. Dear, I am concerned about the repetitive work. It is becoming monotonous, making it difficult for motivators, blah, 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 blah. And then thank you. See, just in 100 words, you are able to convey it. And if you want to write it in a paragraph, you can write it. If you want to write it in a more pleasant manner, you can write it. If you want a more escalation manner, you can write it. All the possibilities of communication which you wanted to do with your teams and management, you can automate it with chat gpt, and then just use it for their purposes. Now this is more about email communications. Now let's come to how you can use it for coding purposes. Okay, write a sample code in java to multiply different numbers. Okay, and what will it do? Just gives the sample code directly. See, you can see java code. It will give you the class. Okay, and if you want to use it, you can just use copy code. Okay, you might think, okay, because java, it is the most widely used technical programming language, that's why it is giving the answers or not. No, it will give for any of the programming language independent of whatever the way. So suppose I'm an AEM architect, I have some backend concepts like Sling model, and I wanted to use Sling model code for creating a OSJ service. I'll just ask, write a OSJ service, okay, which will fetch data from third party API, and you know get that data onto Sitely and display it. Okay, and the moment you ask it, it will start writing it. Okay, here is an example, and see, first it will write, it's writing the Sling model. Okay, so see, it's writing a OSJ service at the rate component service my service, and then it's writing the reference, and see how you want to fetch a third party URL connection. It's creating a third party URL connection, get response code 100. So it has written a OSJ service here, and then after writing OSJ service, what it will do? It will call the OSJ service in a Sling model. So if you say, a Sling model, how do you call a OSJ service? You have to use some methods and all of that, right? So now you can see here that it will also explain the code for you. I mean, which will make you more learning rather than just copy pasting things. Then if you want to tweak anywhere, you can tweak also. Since it has created the service, now it is writing the Sitely component, wherein you can directly get at the data attribute. How data attribute is populated? Data is populated in the API, and data, there is a session scope implicit objects in Sitely. That is why it is directly getting called data. So now you might think, no, this is not the way I wanted to write. Then you can ask ChatGPT, this is not the way I wanted. I need Sling model as well. Now write it. Just you, whatever the way you wanted to convey, you convey, and then ask the chat GPT. So it will say, hey, I apologize for misunderstanding earlier. Now I'm giving a Sling model way of getting the data to Sitely. What it will do? It will write a Sling model, and then it will write a OSJ service, and then it will write a Sitely code, and it will give you the code. Previously, you might have thought creating a component will take 1 day. Now with ChatGPT, how many days will it take for creating a component? 2 hours or 1 hour. All you need to do is validate how the ChatGPT has written the component and test it. And ChatGPT can write test cases also for the whatever the Java classes which you have written. What you need to do, you need to execute the test cases, make sure it is working fine or not. So you will be doing overall kind of a supervisor task which chat gpt is doing manually for you, and you just supervise it, make sure it is perfect, and then deliver it. That's the kind of automation chat gpt is bringing it. So you can see it here. So it has created a Sling model, it has created a OSJ service, and it has called the OSJ service in model directly, and it is displaying it. Okay. Now, as I said, you need to write a test cases also. Okay, write test JUnit test cases, JUnit test cases for the above scenario. It's just a communication between ChatGPT and you in one single context, and it will get all the data fetched. That's the advantage of ChatGPT. So the possibilities are enormous. You can use it for any context. People might say it's before 2021 code, 2022 the things are changed and all. No, I've seen it is fetching 2022 data also, but as a caution, it says 2021. I'm trying on. The training happened in 21, but it actually fetches the latest data also. Okay. So now, see, you have written a Sling model, you have written a OSJ service, you have written a data sitely, and you have written a test class also for that. And then you just need to copy paste this test class and execute it. How much time it took for me to write a single component along the test component? In this video itself, I have written it. That's the benefit of chat gpt, and I'll explain in next videos how many more ways we can use chat gpt. I have heard a feedback that my videos are getting too slow, or too lengthy, so I'm going to keep them short and sweet, and let's meet in the next video. Thank you, guys.